How's everyone doing? Welcome back for some more Forza Horizon 3. Today I'm sharing with you the Hoonigan Loki Blazer, and this is the final car from the Hoonigan car pack that I'm covering. And honestly, I saved one of the most fun cars from the pack for last, and I didn't really mean to do that. I didn't intend to do that. I actually just thought that I wouldn't really care about this thing too much, which is why it is the last car I am driving. But I have to say, my impressions of what this thing would be were completely wrong. Well, partially wrong at least, because I knew it would be fun for just off-roading, cruising around, and just having a good time, and I certainly do plenty of that in the free roam gameplay at the end of this video. But it turns out this car, you can actually race it. This huge lifted truck you can actually race, and pretty competitively in the A-class as well. So we're going to talk about the performance of this thing. Obviously, we're starting out here in the Forza Vista so you can see the car, but this is a really cool truck. Really like the design of this thing overall. Not huge on the wheels once again, but that is pretty much the only thing that I do not like about the looks of this car, and the sounds of it are okay, but the performance really surprised me, especially when it came to racing this thing. So the launch isn't all that great. I mean, it is rear-wheel drive, and this thing makes a lot of power. I mean, we're talking 650 horsepower, 600 torque, and 60% of the weight is in the front of this car, even though they have all this stuff in the back of it trying to weigh it down and give some weight to those rear tires to hold the grip. 60% of the weight is still in the front of this car, so the grip off the launch is not really that great. But after that, I mean, the grip isn't perfect, but it's very manageable, and you don't even really need to have throttle control, and you're still gonna be fine. So the launch isn't great, but the acceleration on this thing for a middle of the A-class car is very good. This is an extreme off-road car, which definitely makes perfect sense, and when I raced it against other extreme off-road cars, I was very happy with how this thing competed. I mean, the acceleration's good. The top speed's only about 130 miles per hour, which when I free roamed it, I got it up to about 133 or 134, so it's not very good for the A-class. But the thing is, if you race it on racetracks like this one right here that you're seeing now, and you don't do those long straightaways where you get to those higher top speeds, it really doesn't matter because the acceleration is good, the gearing feels pretty good in this car, and it shifts kind of at an average speed, I guess, but it wasn't something that really bothered me. Now, I think the worst part of this car is probably the braking, and it obviously didn't help that it was raining in this racing gameplay, but the braking is probably the worst attribute of the car when it comes to performance. The braking isn't all that great. I mean, this car weighs 3,500 pounds, which is kind of heavy, but I mean, there's certainly trucks out there that are way heavier, and even cars that are heavier, so it's about average when it comes to weight. But the main thing, the one thing that really surprised me about this thing and really made me like it, is the handling. I mean, do you see how I'm going around turns? This car is so responsive for being a 3,500 pound truck like this thing. I mean, it's just so responsive, it handles very well, and it drifts a little bit obviously going around turns, but I just love how responsive it is and how easy it is to control for being a truck. And that's what makes it fun to race, because the acceleration is good and also the handling is good. So you can work with the braking and you can obviously work with the top speed. You just have to choose races that don't have those super long straightaways. So overall, I actually really enjoyed racing this thing, but it's also obviously very fun for just free roaming, cruising around, off-roading, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And overall, it's just a ton of fun to drive, no matter what you're doing with it. So I actually like this thing a lot, which I was very surprised by. So let me know what you think of this Loki Blazer from the Hoonigan car pack. I've now reviewed every car from the Hoonigan car pack, so let me know what you think about all of these cars from the Hoonigan car pack, and if you have the Hoonigan car pack, if you think you're going to get it yet, and also what your favorite car is out of all these Hoonigan cars. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I really hope that you'll enjoy the rest of this gameplay, but peace out.